in fact, Punjab this time, where the much anticipated meeting between Home Minister Amit Shah has happened with the kin of Sidhu Moose Wala after that horrendous incident that happened with his gruesome killing. These are the first pictures of Amit Shah meeting the kin, the family members, the father of Sidhu Moose Wala at the Chandigarh airport. Remember, later on he is here for a crucial meeting as well, but this is a first picture coming in of the Home Minister Amit Shah himself meeting the kin of Sidhu Moose Wala, who have now been demanding a CBI probe in the matter. They want a central agency to probe the entire matter, and this was one of their demands that was put forth in front of the Chief Minister as well, when he asked them what are their contentions or demand after what had happened to their son. Gurpreet now joins us over the phone line. Yes, Gurpreet, first images of Home Minister Amit Shah meeting the family of Sidhu Moose Wala.
Well, yes, of course, we have seen at the airport this meeting was held between Home Minister as well as the family members of Sidhu Moose Wala. What we have learned from the sources close to family members, they say that they are keen to go for the investigation, and they want that there is need to give this case to the CBI or maybe some premier agency, so that this conspiracy which has been had by interstate gangs that should be exposed. What we have learned, the Home Minister has already given assurance saying that there will be the investigation will be held in this case, and they will be able to try to give to the premier agency, so that all the facts should come in public domain, because he was a star, he was a global hero, and he has already promoted a lot of Punjabi at the national and international level. So these pictures are showing that how this meeting has been held since morning. We have seen at about 9 o'clock, this family member, they have moved from Mansa. They had reached at Chandigarh, and from Chandigarh, we have already given visuals to our viewers. SSP Chandigarh has taken them to the airport where the Home Minister had just landed, and after the landing, that meeting had been held at the airport. And now, a few minutes ago, we had already shown the visuals to our viewers that the Home Minister has already been left toward BJP office where the Congress leader, they are standing in the queue to join the BJP. So it's a big day for the BJP. But if we can talk about Sidhu Moose Wala's case, yes, of course, the family had already shown dissatisfaction towards Punjab police. They had already appealed the Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann, saying that the inquiry should be held from the sitting judge. But yesterday we have seen Punjab and Haryana, he has already rejected the plea moved by the Punjab Chief Minister, and finally the family had decided to meet the Home Minister. And this meeting, the visuals which is already on the screen, showing that the meeting had been held, and Home Minister has given assurance to the family member that they will try to give this case to the premier agency, so that the whole conspiracy should be exposed, and at the same time, all over the world, Punjabi should know that which were the gang members who are behind this whole crime, and how this murder was planned, and how this execution of this murder had taken place in Mansa. So let's see, wait and watch that whether the family will be able to get justice in this case or not. But we have seen the Punjab police have already detained a lot of people, and they are also interrogating and questioning them. And when we talk to the top officers of the police department, they say they have already got the leads and they will be able to expose this conspiracy. But if the case is going to the CBI or any other premier agency, then the equation will be changed, because it's interstate gang which have been involved, and we have seen the matter has already been opposed to the Supreme Court, where they had already appealed to the government of India that the interstate gangs are involved in this case. So there is need to dig deep into this case to find out the real truth behind this.
In fact, Gurpreet, continue to be with us, and it is important for our viewers to understand the political implications as well, because remember, there has been a growing anger against the AAP government in the state of Punjab. We saw what had happened when the Chief Minister was about to arrive in the Mansa village. That's where the villagers had also shown their anger towards the AAP government, and anyone from the opposition had tried to come in and meet the family members. Take our viewers through what has been the family maintaining, because it seems like they wanted from the very beginning a centrally, in fact, appointed agency to probe the matter.
Well, yes, of course. Since first day, we have seen the main question with
In
the
fact, stay
family
with us, Gurpreet. RP Singh of the BJP also joins us over the phone line. Mr. Singh, we have the first images of Union Home Minister Amit Shah meeting the Moose Wala family. In fact, the family has been demanding a CBI probe in the case from the very beginning, despite the assurances coming in from the AAP government.
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party government assurances doesn't work. They have withdrawn security. Inspector said the man was under threat and under pretext of Operation Blue Star anniversary, whereas Centre has already provided the forces for the anniversary. But the fact is that they are not bothered, and that's why Home Minister has met the family also, and would have given assurance to family for the proper investigation. And Delhi police has already arrested the key culprit in that in Delhi. So Delhi police is already active in the case. Till now, I have not heard anything about Punjab police taking any action or anything on ground happening with Punjab police.
In fact, Mr. Singh, we have seen how the villagers of Mansa, where in fact Sidhu Moose Wala originated from, they showed immense amount of anger against AAP netas, including on the arrival of the Chief Minister. There was sloganeering that happened. How do you see this entire, in fact, case panning out? Because now it seems like the family members are devastated with what has happened, and they do not have much faith with the state authorities, and that's the reason why they want a central agency.
They are right, because the state agencies have failed. And I'm saying that any one person who is responsible for the killing of Moose Wala is Bhagwan Singh Maan. Because he was the one who reduced, it was with his order that the security was withdrawn, and also that they made the list public and make the man vulnerable. He should own up the responsibility. And I don't know how the family will take up. Rather, they should file a case against the state government, saying that on what ground, when the security was withdrawn, when man was under threat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for joining us here on this broadcast. Going back to once again Gurpreet. And Gurpreet, we also have the first visuals here on Times Now of that entire conversation and meeting that happened with the kin, the family members of Sidhu Moose Wala, who look devastated, and they are there with their request for a centrally appointed agency to now hold the investigation.
Well, yes, of course. The first day we have seen the family as well as the opposition party. They were gunning Aam Aadmi Party, and everybody here in Punjab, and specifically the opposition party, they are putting up this point. They are saying that why the security has been withdrawn. And we have already seen Aam Aadmi Party had approached the court also. The court, the High Court had already pulled up Aam Aadmi Party, saying that why they did not follow the proper procedure for withdrawing the security. And after that, we have seen immediately the U-turn was taken by the Aam Aadmi Party government, saying that it was a temporary withdrawal and all the security will be restored after the 7th of June. And they had given a plea saying that the Blue Star anniversary is going on from 1st of June to 6th of June, and that's why the security had been withdrawn temporarily. Even the Sidhu Moose Wala's family, they are raising the same question. They are feeling, had the security cover given to the Sidhu Moose Wala, and specifically the pertinent point where a lot of dissatisfaction has been raised by the family member. They were saying that after withdrawing this security, someone from the government, he has already leaked this information, and this has been publicized on each and every social media platform where these shooters, they were able to access that information that there was less security with Sidhu Moose Wala, and after that they had planned and finally executed this murder which had taken place in Mansa. So all these points they have raised before the Home Minister, saying that they do not trust the state government at this point of time, because they want, there is a deep-rooted conspiracy behind the killing of their son, because he was a global star and he has already raised his career at the top level, because he was just 28-year-old, and for the last 6-7 years, the whole lot of contribution for promoting Punjabi at the international platform. So they want that the Home Minister should look into all these angles, and they want that the premier agency that Premier Agency of the central government should probe this case. So what we can see that this visual which we are showing to our viewer, it seems that the Home Minister had given a confident assurance to the family members that they will definitely try to solve this case at any cost, because this is a very, very important case. At the same time, if we can see the political repercussions of this case, we have seen that all the political parties, they are on the receiving end at this point of time. And specifically, if we can see the impact of Sidhu Moose Wala's death in Punjab politics, specifically in Sangrur, which from where the Member Parliament Bhagwant Mann was elected as an MP, but after becoming the Chief Minister of the state, he has to vacate that Member Parliament seat, and now the by-elections are already been scheduled. So there is a lot of anger against Aam Aadmi Party. We have already seen the Chief Minister of Punjab. He has gone there for the people of that Mansa, especially Musa village. They uprooted all the barricades there. There was a lot of resentment. They were saying that this much security had been given to Sidhu Moose Wala, his life could have been saved. And we have seen the first Aam Aadmi Party government, they withdrew that security from there, and a lot of probability was going on at that time, saying that Bhagwant Mann, the Chief Minister, will not come there. But immediately after that, we have seen Bhagwant Singh Mann, he has resisted, but we have seen a lot of videos that have been viral by the opposition party and gunning Aam Aadmi Party, saying that one side they wanted to uproot VVIP culture, and on the other hand, we have seen the Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Singh Mann, had undergone gone to be the family members under a huge security, and which has been deployed there. So all these points are being discussed with the Home Minister to just get justice in this, because Sidhu Moose Wala was the only son of the parents, and that was the very matter of concern at this point
of time. In fact, Gurpreet, once again going back to that visit as well that the family had with, in fact, the Chief Minister himself, Bhagwant Mann, when he was about to arrive in the Mansa village, we saw that heavy police deployment. The entire village was turned into a fortress. And even while that entire conversation was happening, we saw as to how the entire family was surrounded by cops and senior police officials. What was the Chief Minister so afraid of?
Well, this was the main question. Even the people of a Musa village, they were raising this thing. They are saying that even this list of 424 people where the security had been withdrawn, that was published, and saying
in
that...
In fact, stay with us, Gurpreet. Manjinder Singh Sirsa of the BJP joining us over the phone line. Sirsa Saab, we are getting on one hand the visuals of Home Minister Amit Shah meeting with the family, the parents of Sidhu Moose Wala. They are devastated, and it seems like their last hope is now a centrally appointed agency.
Definitely, because उन लोगों का ये मानना है कि हमारे बेटे की जान इसलिए गई क्योंकि उनके पास जो सिक्योरिटी के साथ
All right, we'll try to go back to Manjinder Singh Sirsa shortly, but Gurpreet, that's an important point that we have been raising here as well, that on one hand, how we saw over 400 people had lost their security, and right a day after that, Sidhu Moose Wala was shot dead in that brutal manner, and that's the number one question the family has been raising.
Well, yes, of course. We have seen even the father of Sidhu Moose Wala, he has been saying all these things to Home Minister, saying that one side the security has been withdrawn, on the other side this has been published. It seems that this gangster who had already been giving threats to Sidhu Moose Wala, and which has already been reported to the local police administration, saying that he was getting continuous threats from the various gangs which is being operated, and ransom calls had been fought by Sidhu Moose Wala during this time. But no security had been provided him up to the mark, and now today when Sidhu Moose Wala's father, he was discussing with the Home Minister, he was raising these points, he was putting up all these points before the Home Minister, why he is saying that why there is need to get investigated the case from Premier Agency, because he feels that this is not what we are seeing at this point of time. There is a deep-rooted conspiracy which needs to be exposed. And the main question which we have seen that the Aam Aadmi Party is on the back foot, because we have seen that huge had been deployed when the Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Singh Mann, was about visit Sidhu Moose Wala's family. So after that, we have seen the Shiromani Akali, all the Congress party were released photographs of the police personnel, which has been provided along with Bhagwan Singh Maan, and they are also treating.
Well, absolutely. And we are staying with these images on our screen right now coming in of the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who met with the family members of Sidhu Moose Wala, and they met at the Chandigarh airport right after he arrived there. Remember, he is here on a visit and he will be meeting his party functionaries later on as well. But remember, the family of Sidhu Moose Wala have been demanding in fact, central appointed agencies, specifically talking about the CBI, to now investigate the case after meeting the Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, who assured strict action against the perpetrators. The family is certainly not satisfied with the investigation so far, and that's the reason why they are here with the Home Minister, meeting him and asking for further investigation in the case. Slipping into a short break, and we'll be back with the latest. Stay tuned.